Welcome, Tab Nation. Wonderful week 9, moving into week 10. Huge bye week blues this week, man. There's a lot of teams on a bye. So make sure you are in those waivers this weekend, or maybe you planned already and you planned ahead. That's what you should be doing. But hey, not everyone's good at planning ahead. So that's why we are here. We are going to help you with that. With that being said, I am your host, Corey Richardson. The man, the myth, the legend will be joining me soon, Cody. And once we get him on, we're going to talk some recap. I think we're going to actually start it off with that Monday night game. As soon as we get Cody in here, 1 minute, let's see what's going on. Try calling. All right, we're going to call Cody one more time, get him on. And we're going to roll everybody vibing out. Oh, there he is. We got Cody live, peeps. What up, Cody? I've already introduced you.
Hey, what is up?
Yeet.
We are here, baby.
We are here, man. Cha-ching, I love it. What was that? Hey, cash money. I love it. With that being said, man, we had a very interesting week 9, man. Black cats all over the field. Is that our knucklehead of the week? The whole security staff, everybody in the
New York
dang
Giants.
What are you saying?
How does that happen? Was this a support animal that got in?
I don't know, man, but I give credit to the cat because the cat had no fear. Like, he was out there like, yeah, look at me. And then he bounced. He left. And he was like, I got my 5 seconds of fame. I'm good now. Like, I can go spend the rest of my other 8 lives being okay. So,
Man, that cat was freaked out. He did not know what he was walking into until he got out there and said, "Man, get me the heck out of here."
He looked like a rookie quarterback going to get the Patriots. Man, so other than the cat incident, what was some outtakes from last night's game? Some things you noticed. I mean, certain quarterback is demanding he gets paid, obviously, but what else did you notice?
Well, I thought the Dallas Cowboys just started slow, man. Obviously that big one, that big garbage touchdown to Amari. For those that don't know, me and Corey had a little matchup this week, and our Tav won, and of course I
November
was
17th is
beating
National
him, and I
Take
had it. Basically, it looked like I had it sealed up in the bag, and then Amari gets a garbage time 45-yard touchdown.
Hey,
But
that's on you, man. Never
that's
consider me
fantasy
down and out.
football.
Never consider me down and out.
That's football.
It is.
But leave it to Jason Garrett. I hope somebody steps on his throat here in these next couple weeks.
So what
But
happened? I wasn't able to finish the game. I'll be the first to admit that. So what exactly happened? Was it just like they were already up and about to win the game and Jason Garrett's like, you know what? We're gonna still throw the ball on these suckers. What happened?
yeah, I mean, basically, man, they were up and they, they just had a nice long shot down the field and it was perfect. I mean, Murray was wide open, wide open.
Hey, I'll take it, man. So yes, for those that didn't hear, I beat Cody because of that garbage time, Amari Cooper TD, and I am not ashamed of it.
I mean, it's like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I think it was like 7 minutes left in the fourth, but still, I mean, they were up. It looked like they could have chewed the clock a little bit, and
I will say this,
it
man.
was just like a slant pass. It wasn't even like he was like super far downfield. Like he was downfield, but they were already they were already half at what 60-yard line by the time they got down there.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I got it. So, actually, I wanted to bring up something. You brought up a very good point this morning about Jarwin and his TDs. You want to tell everybody what you figured out or what you asked?
Oh, right, yeah. So Blake Jarwin, man, what a weird stat I heard last night. So out of his 6 career touchdowns, he's got 5 of them have come against the New York Giants. So he's just the giant killer.
That's right, man. So, I don't know. It's still risky, but I was about to say, so whenever he plays New York, do you put him in?
Man, honestly, like that's what I'm saying. If he plays New York, you gotta be looking at streaming this kid.
That was
How
the
can you
second
not?
time meeting already, though, right? Am I right?
I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think they met earlier this season already.
So Danny Dimes didn't drop too many dimes last night. He did have one, and then one interception to go along with that. 210 yards. He had 6 carries for 54 yards. So he's trying his best Lamar Jackson performance, but it wasn't enough for a lot of teams out there. Shaquan had a quiet game, but he still had 6 receptions, 67 yards. So big game in PPR still. Any takes on those two players or anybody else on the new Giant side of the ball?
Man, yeah, I mean, old Danny Dimes, don't get me wrong, he's still a rookie. He's still got some developing to do. 26 or 41. It's not like blowing me away or nothing, but he was, man, they brought the pressure this. If you would have seen the way DeMarcus Lawrence was getting through that offensive line, it was just insane. Jumping over people, making tackles. It was, they were getting back there in this game. And I mean, he got sacked 5 times out of the 6 times he got rushed. So, I mean, so he didn't really, he was kind of running around a little bit here. So to get, I mean, he had the passing touchdown. He was making good plays with his legs, man. I really like what he could. He made blocks. They gave Tate a
Oh
little
my
scamper run
gosh,
to the
I
right.
did
He
see
made a
that
big
play.
old block.
Man, he
I'm
got
like,
blown up. I did not like seeing that. How did you feel about that? Seeing your rookie quarterback, if you're a GM, get blown up like he did on that play. like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not something I want to see him doing all the time, but it's definitely you would have never ever seen Eli Manning do that. So I mean, that was
no.
it's just fun things I'm seeing in this offense that I think they're trying to find their identity. I think next season it'll look a little bit more flush in here. But I mean, the way Daniel Jones looks, man, yeah, he's a lot more ahead of where rookie quarterbacks are normally when they come in here, man.
Very mature, bro. Even on the sideline, when he makes mistakes, he's not going to the sideline with his head down. And you know what's
No,
funny? He reminds me of Eli in that manner. Like he carries himself even after mistake. He just doesn't have that like, oh, I messed up. Like, dang it, it's my fault. It's like, all right, how can I go back and fix this problem that we just had, man? So
yeah,
I'm agreeing with you, man. Danny Dimes is, hey, I completely agree with you, man. He is looking phenomenal.
November 17th is
yeah,
National Take
absolutely,
a
man.
Hike
Could be
Day
the
at
best QB
AAR.
in this class.
So far, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, so far so
Um,
good. What else you got in town?
Obviously, I think we got to talk about that Golden Tate one-hander showing out, trying to be the new OBJ in town.
You do it
Man,
for a TD though, or a big game.
he got to what I think those 1 or 2, but man, did he get up there, dude, for a small guy?
The baller, man.
Woo.
That's why I was shocked the Eagles didn't keep him around because he really fitted their scheme, man. Like
Right.
I don't understand that letting him walk to New York, but hey, Danny Dimes is like, hey, I'll take it, man, because he's been feeding the guy the ball. But he had 6 targets and he made 6 receptions, only 42 yards. But let's not slouch on this Dallas defense. They're pretty
November
tough.
17th is National Take a
Yeah,
Hike Day
absolutely,
at
man.
AARP.
Watching him all those years when he was here with Detroit, I always used to think, man, he would have been. I was just talking with a buddy at work about this the other day, actually. He always would have been like a pretty good fit and with like a New England Patriots, man. Him and Julian Edelman in there would have been, oof,
Ooh, but that's why he would
man.
have been with the Eagles. That's why I just don't
Yeah, I know.
understand, man. Like
That's
he
that's what made me think about it when you said that.
he fits everything that the Eagles need right now. Like, anyways, let's wrap this game up. Zeke
Yeah, yep.
had 23 carries, 139 yards. Amari Cooper had 4 receptions off of 7 targets, 80 yards and a dime.
So there's
Um,
only 2 running backs that average more rushing yards per game than Ezekiel Elliott in NFL history, and that's, I believe, Jim Brown and Barry Sanders.
ooh, are you serious? That's a nice
Yeah,
stat.
he averages about 90 some yards a game, and that's insane.
So I wanted.
He's the best running back in football.
Oh, I can't say that. I can't say that. I cannot say that. That's gotta be McCaffrey right now, man. You really think Zeke's better than McCaffrey?
Don't get me wrong, I would say McCaffrey's like showing out this year, but man, for to ever, how do you do that, man? Like rushing the ball wise, McCaffrey is a better all around passing because he catches the ball so well. He's basically a receiver in the backfield, man, that can run the ball like hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, but Zeke's all around just straight rushing. He's a ground man. He will truck you. He will run through you, run around you, jump over you.
But something
He's
you got to think about is Zeke also has a better offense around him. Like McCaffrey hasn't had that
yeah.
offensive line that Zeke's been benefiting from the last few years. And and I'm not trying to take away from Zeke. You got me interested now on that debate. Who's the best running back in the NFL right now? Because I mean, there's some people that could. I mean, Carson, he's entering a debate for this season. I mean, he's been balling.
Bro, he's a baller.
But it's only one season. I don't want to get too hype on him. But I mean, we got who else you got? Who else we looking at as best backs right now? DC, but he's been injured as well.
Yeah, man, Saquon.
Saquads. But I mean, he disappeared last night.
It's gonna have to be just those top three, man. It's gonna be Zeke, CMC, Saquon.
All right.
I mean, I would like to put Kamara in there, but like, I don't. I just like he's a better receiver than a couple of them, but I don't think he's as good as a runner.
I will
It's
say
like a Zeke Elliott or a Saquon.
there's one person you didn't name, and that's Melvin Gordon, Mister. I want to
He
be the
showed
highest
up
paid.
this week.
He did. He showed up this week. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and head into that game if you could get it pulled up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Melvin Gordon against the
Chargers
Packers.
win.
Chargers got the dub. That defense showed up, man. I was impressed. They slapped Aaron Rodgers in the mouth. What?
Yeah, and 26-11. I couldn't believe this. I actually took the Packers in this game. I took the spread too. I really thought the Green Bay Packers were going to beat them up in this game, and boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't happen on either end. I'll be the first to admit I thought this was going to be a high scoring game. Both teams are going to come out rolling, and it didn't happen. Like the Chargers came out and like, all right, we need to start winning. We know how to shut you guys down, and we're going to do it.
Melvin Gordon didn't just which is crazy if you would have said this last season, but Melvin Gordon didn't just out-touch and out-snap and outwork Austin Eckler in the ground game, but he outworked him in the passing game too, man. I mean, he got one last catch, but he still outgained him.
Yeah, he did, man. That's saying a lot. Austin Eckler still did get his 12 carries for 70 yards and 4 catches, so you're still getting love in PPR formats for him. Standards you can't trust. But I want to ask you a question. So Devontae Adams' first game back from injury, and brother, man, he gets 11 targets. 11 targets, first game back from injury against a tough Chargers defense. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean he's the man, bro. You could tell overall that over the span that he missed, you could tell Aaron Rodgers was missing him throughout each and every single one of those games that they were just squeezing through and they were getting them passing touchdowns. It seems like they just had these guys stepping up out of nowhere, man. And for Adams to come back, that was huge for him. He obviously it looked like he felt a little bit more comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, even though they lost, he looked like he had his number one guy back. You know what I'm saying? If he got in a bind, he wanted to look that way.
So shout out to everybody that went out and bought low on Devontae Adams, man. You're about to reap the rewards. You didn't get it. I mean, 7 for 41. It's not phenomenal, but it's still a steady, a good little outburst for your player that's just coming back from injury.
Yeah, I mean, he did. That turf toe was a tough one, and this isn't just some rinky-dink secondary, man. The Chargers do have a pretty solid secondary.
Yeah, they do. Anything else from this game that you wanted to hit on? Jamal Williams?
So is Alan Lazard officially like a wide receiver too there, man?
We're not doing it. I'm not doing it. You can do it. I'm not doing it. I'm staying far away.
Not for me not in fantasy roster, but I mean, is he the wide receiver two in Green Bay?
No. Nobody's receiver two. There is no such thing as a receiver two in Green Bay. There is no such thing as a tight end in Green Bay. There is no such thing as a running back in Green Bay. There is Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, and the Green Bay Packers. That is it, and that's how we're. Because man, I mean,
Bro.
we've fallen for this trick time after time.
But Jamal Williams just seems to have a nose for the end zone this year, man.
He does. What is this like? Every game this week? I mean, this year he's had a touchdown that he's played in.
It seems like it, man.
Monster stat, man. I'm telling you, I honestly wish he would get a little bit more carries in the running game. Aaron Jones, man. I know a lot of people's trade deadlines are coming up in the next couple of weeks. I'm telling you, man, I'm selling on Aaron Jones so hard. He's gonna have those games where he explodes and then he doesn't explode. But if you're heading into the playoffs, let me ask you this, Cody. If you're heading into the playoffs with Aaron Jones, do you really trust that? Because, I mean, when he explodes, he explodes. But when he doesn't explode, oh, brother. you get 8 carries for 30 yards.
Well, I guess that's why they like to keep Jamal Williams worked in and keep his legs fresh.
Yeah, I mean, so are you looking to trade him in fantasy leagues, Aaron Jones? I'm getting rid of him.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's still, man, the running back. It's hard to find a guy that gets carries like that. And don't get me wrong, if you can get a solid price for him, it's always anybody. I'll trade anybody for the right price, man. But you got to come with the price.
That's the interesting part. Like, what are people going to be asking for Aaron Jones? Because I don't want. This is a little bit of an outlier. He's not going to be this bad all the time. This game wasn't going in the direction that the Packers obviously wanted to go in. But what alarms me is that he's not getting any work in the passing game at all. Like, he had 4 targets, but only 1 reception for -1 yards, man. And this is what I say, like, if my fantasy running back isn't getting me the job done on the ground, I want him to be able to do it in the air. And Aaron Jones isn't able to do that right now. I don't know what it is or what's going on, but any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm absolutely agreeing with that, man. I can see that. If you can swing something, a package little combo deal, go do it.
All right. Anything else on this game you wanted to hit on?
I mean, I did have somebody send me, I'm kind of regretting it now. I had somebody offer me like Melvin Gordon, their Melvin Gordon for my Stephon Diggs last week, and I didn't take it. No.
I would have taken it. But you already know how I feel about Stephon Diggs. He's gonna be up and down all season. Adam Thielen is out now, so that could potentially still be good for you. I'll say that. Adam Thielen going out, so.
Before this last game, Melvin Gordon just hadn't impressed me when he came back, man. I thought that time off didn't do him right or something.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. Le'Veon Bell had an MRI.
Yeah, no, it's they're trying to say it's precautionary, but for some reason it seems like I've been waiting a day and a half.
And then they added a running back today.
It's just like, how long does it take to read an MRI, man? Come on. This Jets medical staff is just, it's awful.
It is. I mean, it could also be that they're sitting on it and they don't want to announce it. They're waiting a little bit closer to game day. But if Le'Veon Bell misses any time or if he gets put on IR.
Elijah McGuire.
You what?
Elijah McGuire.
You going Elijah McGuire? I was thinking Montgomery. Is he not there anymore?
Yeah, I guess Montgomery could still be like the pass catcher. I think after what McGuire did last year, don't you think he'd be like their ground and pound guy kind of guy?
He's just that dude that's there. Like when the third running back gets hurt, Elijah McGuire comes out of nowhere. Looking at the numbers, like Bilal Powell out of nowhere randomly came back and he got 2 carries last week. I don't know where he came from or why.
But they signed him back.
I kid you not. We're looking at it right now. Bilal Powell, I remember him having a really big game for 10 yards. Yep, there it is.
What?
Yeah. And so I don't know what happened to Montgomery, but Bilal Powell, Mark Walton. Wow. Speaking of this Miami and Jets game, Mark Walton is suspended for 4 games.
Oh, wow.
Kalen Ballage is running back. So we got 2 running backs right here in this game alone that could potentially need to be replaced.
I'm not excited about Kalen Ballage.
Oh, no. I wasn't excited about Mark Walton.
While we're on here. So we might as well dip into this game while we're on here, then.
Here, baby. We are live in color. Preston
Williams, man.
Disappointing.
Preston, oh, man.
He was so good. Finally.
I'm so sorry to hear about Preston Williams. You were looking And to be honest, I already felt sorry for this man that he had to play. Don't get me wrong, living in Miami's great, tax free, but just to have to play on that team with the amount of skill that kid has shown this season, I was like, oh, I wish he was on another team.
Yeah, but he's still young, and let's say, and I think this was a conversation you and I were having yesterday about the Dolphins messing up and not getting to it because they refuse to stop winning. well, not not so much the Dolphins, but I'm more concerned with like if they do get to it. Let's say Dolphins do get to it, Williams becomes a viable fantasy option next year. Somebody that you could definitely sleep on. So in dynasty leagues, if you got a chance, go pick up Preston Williams. He could potentially
Oh
be a
yeah.
TD beast next year. But Devontae Parker,
I mean,
man. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, you can't even just lump like Tua. Like, there's so many QB options. Like,
Yeah.
who knows if Cam Newton's coming back for Carolina? Nobody knows what Eli Manning's doing, or Andy Dalton, or Gardner Minshew. Like, the Jags traded for Josh Dobbs early this year. They already got another backup. Like, they got to figure out something with that. Not to mention the deep draft class. Like, come on, man.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's why I'm honestly surprised they didn't get rid of one of these receivers. Devontae Parker would have been my choice at the trade deadline. Try to get some more picks coming
Yeah.
into the draft. But hey, I'm not a GM yet, so yet. But so are you picking up Balil Powell since Le'Veon? Dude, wait a minute.
I don't
Does
want
it
nothing
not
to do.
seem? Does it not seem like the Jets running back is always a carousel? Like no matter the coaching situation, no matter the player that's at running back, it seems like every year, and it's always Balil Powell. We're like, all right, it's time to pick up Balil Powell again.
I liked what McGuire did last year, man. At the end of the year, but just I don't want anything to do with this Jets offense now, man. What was
No.
God, now I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of that offensive coordinator's name like they had last season. Um,
Uh, you got me
yeah,
on
I
that one
can't think of
too.
his name. I'm drawing a blank. I know. I can like it's at the tip of my tongue.
But I mean, if you look at it, Le'Veon Bell had 8 receptions off of non-targets. Is Balil Powell going to get that same kind of love, or
I don't think so. Like that's my.
we just don't know? We don't know, man. We just need to hurry up. Jets, quit hiding it. Let us know what's going to happen with Le'Veon so we can adjust, so we can get the information out there because there's a lot of people sitting on edge right now because fantasy playoffs are heating up. And if you're sitting there looking at Le'Veon Bell getting all these MRIs done and the team is signing other running backs, man, you're getting a bubble guts right now. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
I'm starting to bubble up. Anything else on this game?
I think we about wrapped that one up.
I am one more thing I want to hit on. I am a little bit disappointed in Robbie Anderson. Only 2 receptions for 33 yards against a soft Dolphins defense. He didn't show up, man. Crowder showed up, but Robbie Anderson disappeared again. So maybe you could trade low for him if you need a bye week fill in this week. He might have a TD next week. Any choices on your next game?
I mean, why don't we go Lions Raiders?
Yeah, bro, you kick it off. Go ahead, get in.
So this one was in Oakland. I just wasn't sure about this game, man. I felt like it could have went either way, really. I felt like the Lions have shown flashes of life this season. I felt like the Raiders have only really lost to bad teams, and they've got a really kind of a coast of a schedule here on out, man. And but Stafford and Derek Carr, they've both been slinging it here these past couple weeks. Stafford came out here again this week, sliding that football, man. 406 yards, 3 passing touchdowns, an interception, and 2 sacks.
Monster game.
People still aren't really understanding this running back situation. There's nothing to understand. Just don't even touch it. Ty Johnson led the backs with 9 carries, but McKissick outproduced him fantasy-wise because he got a catch in the red zone, or a catch in the end zone.
So pitiful.
So, like, McKissick with 4 carries, Ty Johnson with 9, Perkins with 3. Like, this is a situation you don't want to be anywhere close to. But you still got Kenny Galladay and Marvin Jones showed out. Marvin Jones back on the. I mean, he's a flex at this point for sure, like a really solid flex option.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, I was just getting an update on my phone. Who are we talking about again?
Marvin Jones Jr.
Oh, Marvin Jones. He is, man, but he's just so sporadic with it. It's just like one day
He's
he'll
got that
blow
low
up.
floor though,
You said he has a what?
a low floor or a high floor, I should say.
I think he has a. I mean, do you really think he has a high floor? Because I mean, he does put up his duds. I mean, not every game is a reception, 126 yards, and TD.
But his dud's like 7, 8 points.
Is it? Oh, let me
I'll
see.
take that over 4.
Let's see. We had 4 receptions the week before for 22 yards. That's a bit. That's what 8 points. I mean 6 points. Sorry.
All right.
And then he had that big game where he blew up for 4 TDs. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
I was there too, and I had him on my bench.
I remember that.
That was so
I
bad.
remember that. There's been some crazy fantasy games like Lockett this weekend, Fuller. Man, it's been some. This has been a crazy fantasy season, and I've had to play against two of those guys, Fuller and who was it this past weekend that blew up? Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey.
Yep. Just obviously, I think this kind of goes without saying. Everyone probably is already going to jump on this next year, but I mean, TJ Hawkinson's the real deal, man. He's a rookie, obviously, so he's not producing this season, but next year, I think this kid's going to come out the gates, man.
Yeah, you think he's going to be an option, huh?
Yeah, he's showed a lot of flashes. I mean, not only in the running game where he can block, man. He can go get the ball down the field. He's a solid route runner. His route running is way ahead of where I see a lot of rookie tight ends, man.
Man, so hopefully, here's my thing though with you guys. It's like you guys draft a tight end, and then Matthew Stafford refuses to throw to that tight end, man. Look at Eric
Yeah, I
Ebron.
can agree. I can agree with that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's his rookie year. He seems to be coming around all right. Like he's definitely coming around better than what Ebron did.
Yeah,
That's
I
for
agree.
sure.
I agree. Anything else you want to hit on?
Mr. Josh Jacobs, he's
Oh man,
killing it, man. He
28
blew up.
carries.
He's the man. I mean, a lot of people had him in their flex. If you can get 28 carries out of a flex, holy, sign me
Man,
up. That's the best flex in the league.
28 carries. He had 2 targets. No, he didn't catch anything, but we knew he didn't have any
Yep.
hands. We already knew that.
Yep.
2 TDs off 120 carries, man. It seems like standard fantasy this year would be like this is the year to play standard. Like if you had
hmm
Josh Jacobs, AP, and
Derrick
Zeke,
Henry.
yeah, Derrick Henry, like you could be dominating standard leagues this year. But somebody else I wanted to point out, man, Hunter Renfrow is finally heating up, man. 7 targets, he caught 6 balls and 1 dime. Uh, is it time to pick him up? I think it is. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, he's really starting to become. I mean, outside of Waller, and I mean, there's Tyrell Williams is really like Waller and Tyrell are kind of his first go-to reads. But outside of that, he's been really Renfro's coming into his own. This kid out of Clemson, I really liked him coming into the season. I thought he was an excellent route runner at Clemson. He's got capable speed to make it in the NFL, and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe he's over 6 foot. So I mean, I've always liked Renfro coming in, man. He could be worth a pickup for real. I'd throw him in the waivers.
All right. So there you go. Somebody else to look forward to. Hunter Renfro, another viable option at receiver flex play.
Especially, they have such a soft schedule too.
Do they? Let's look at it. Let's check that out. Let's see their schedule.
It's soft, man.
Let's see how soft we got. All right. Lions was last week. We had the Chargers who don't know when they want to play defense and how to play defense, so they might play defense this weekend, or maybe not. We don't know.
Right.
Then you got the Bengals. Super sexy matchup there. Jets, yes, another soft matchup. Chiefs, I don't know, man.
KC, obviously. Yeah. Chiefs is hard, but it's Division 1.
Yeah, another division. We got Titans, another defensive showdown. Jag, I don't know, Cody. I mean, they got it. This isn't that sexy of a
I mean,
line.
It's
Jaguars,
easier than a lot of teams'
Chargers, and
schedules
then
here,
Broncos.
especially on the wide receiver.
All right. So something to look at if you're picking if first of all, if you're picking him up, Hunter Renfrow up to be anything other than a flex play,
Yeah.
you're in a bad position. So so we'll just get that out the way. Anyways, any other game? What's your next game? You want to hit? Let's hit Riley's team. Let's hit the Vikes in KC.
Okay, yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Wow, man. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Matt Moore. Matt Moore, the high school football coach, just last year, comes out and just puts on a show against the Minnesota Vikings in Arrowhead. I mean, it speaks for itself, man. I mean, the guy, Matt Moore and Damian Williams, like, who were these guys a year and a half ago?
Well, I mean, Damian Williams was rotting away in Miami. We knew that.
So was Matt. Well, Matt Moore was out of Miami, rotting away in a Miami high school.
Exactly. So, is he going to be the next certain quarterback that was doing nothing? He wasn't bagging groceries like this certain quarterback I'm alluding to. Who is it? Come on. Who is it? Who was
you
bagging
got?
groceries? Came in the NFL.
Oh, was it Minch? Oh no. Foles.
No, I'll put you on.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
did put me on the spot.
all right. I'll give you one more hit. Think the Rams before they went to LA. Greatest show on turf.
Was no, you got you. Oh, you're talking about Warner?
Warner, baby, Warner.
I thought you were talking about current NFL players.
Oh, okay, got you. That's my bad. Bad question. We helped Cody with a bad question.
I'm looking at Vikings and Chiefs. I'm like,
who worked at a grocery store?
I'm like Viking Chief that worked at a grocery store.
Oh man, so Dalvin Cook, we'll say he cooled off a little bit in this game. He still had a phenomenal game, 71 yards, 4 catches for 45 yards. Still put up some great points for the people that took him in PPR leagues. Anything stand out to you in this game?
I mean, besides the fact that, well, they lost, and number one, Thielen was out, and Diggs only had 1 reception for 4 yards.
Hey, in my defense, in Riley and my defense, I called it. I said sit Diggs. I knew nobody was gonna listen. I wouldn't even listen to myself, to be honest with you, because I'm like, oh.
I said him.
But you did? Okay, good. Somebody
Yeah.
listened. I mean, I'm not saying you listened to me, but I'm glad somebody else had the same thought. It was
I
time to
just
sit
had
Diggs.
options, man. I had Shark, Gallup, like Adams. Like I don't know. I had options.
Sure. Tyreek Hill did what Tyreek Hill does best. Went 6 receptions, 140 yards, and a TD. I've been trying to grab Tyreek Hill, man, but nobody will come off of him, so I'm done.
So Damian Williams isn't on your radar after this game, is he?
No, still nobody in that Kansas City backfield is on my radar.
Yeah. If people didn't watch the game, Damian Williams did have 12 carries for 125 yards and a touchdown, but that touchdown came on like a ginormous 91-yard run.
Yep, there it is, right there. Longest, 91 yards.
Yep, but outside of that 91-yard run, he did very, very, very little.
Yep, that's great point by Cody, and that's why we say do your research. Don't just look at the stat books and be like, oh, he's an excellent player. No, he had an excellent game, but other than that, he had a big play. Like Cody said, if it wasn't for that 91-yard game, we're looking at what, 34 yards?
Yeah.
But the Vikings front seven is ridiculous. So,
Yeah.
Anything else on that?
I think we're cool, brother.
All right, going on. Any game you want to hit?
Well, London, why not?
London, we're going to
This
London.
was a shocker for me, to be honest with you, man. For it to be a division game out in London, Jacksonville, I feel travels well out there. I kind of expected them to play a lot harder and possibly actually, I thought Jacksonville could really win this game outright. And, yeah, that didn't happen.
No, Not at all. Cody with the sound effects. I love it. No, they didn't. You know what? Do me a favor. Hit it one more time. Because these Jacks, y'all need to hear that, man. And I'm glad Cody brought that on because you guys thought you had the next up-and-coming Dojert or whatever his name is in Gardner Minshew. And the hype was all hype. I was growing out my mustache too. Came back down to earth.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, 300 yards, but I mean, he almost threw the ball 50 times. Fournette couldn't get going. He only ran the ball 11 times. It was not good, man. DJ Shark wasn't getting really rolling here. D.D. Westbrook didn't play.
It was just bad from the beginning. I agree. They got out behind early, and I think. Go ahead.
Those of you, I did see a lot of people stream Duke Johnson this week. That paid off for you. Good, congratulations.
Yes,
congratulations.
Great. 5 receptions. Duke Johnson, 5 receptions, 68 yards. On the ground, he had 7 carries, only 13 yards, but he did have a TD. So, had a great day for Duke Johnson, fantasy wise.
Yeah, kind of like some Chris Thompson-like numbers.
Yeah, and that's what you want out of him. That's why you took him, and that's why you were excited about him going to the Texans, is to be that Duke Johnson. I mean, not Duke Johnson, but that Christian Thompson kind of running back for them. And that's what he did this weekend. So hopefully he keeps it up. You think he'll keep it up?
I would really like to see it, man. I'm not sure. It's just been so wishy-washy in this game, and to see Carlos Hyde have 19 rushes for 160 yards too, where Johnson's only had 13, like, I don't know, man. I feel like he should have probably got going a little bit more on the ground game in here. But it's the passing value that why you have him. So if he can keep getting 5 receptions a game, I'll be happy with that.
All right.
I just don't see it.
So how do you feel about my boy? I was telling people to pick him up 3 weeks ago. Darren Fells, man, he didn't have a phenomenal game. He did get in a TD. He did get in the end zone this weekend. But, man, this is like, he's been a TD monster here lately this season, man. So
yeah, you know what? I'm after we get through with this cast, I'm gonna go ahead and look up Fells. I want to see his red zone target percentage.
Okay.
Because it seems like he doesn't get targeted a whole lot, but when he does, he scores. I feel like it's just. I feel like that's the only time they ever look at him is when they are within the 10-yard line. I'm cool with that, to be honest with you, because if I'm streaming a tight end, most of the time that's all I'm looking for is who do I think is going to get in the end zone this week.
Let me correct you on that. It's not if you're streaming a tight end. We're all streaming tight ends this season.
Most of the time. If you don't got a Evan Ingram or one of them top 5.
Man, it's just hurting. But yeah, man, I agree with him. You know who he reminds me of a lot is Eric Ebron from last year. Like he's not getting the yardage, he's not getting the work between the 20s, but in the red zone, he's getting looked at, man. He's getting those red zone looks. He had a TD last week, 2 TDs the week before against the Raiders. He disappeared against the Colts, who have some good safeties. KC, he had 6 catches for 69 yards. And Atlanta, he had 2 TDs off of 2 targets and 2 receptions. So,
when he gets targeted, he's in the end zone.
I'll take it. Like Cody was saying, man, I'll take it. Streaming wise, he was making me a little nervous though.
So. Yeah, man. Yeah, that about wraps that one up. You got another one, like?
Looking at, let's hit this, man. I gotta hit this. Shout out to Baltimore. Let me tell you a quick story, Cody, man. When we went to that Baltimore game this season, my wife and I, man, shout out to the Baltimore fans. These people travel, bro. And I think I said it before on the cast, but like when I say we thought we were at a Baltimore Ravens game more than we thought than a Dolphins game, you would have thought you were at a Ravens game. So I know their fans were super excited to see Tom Brady get slapped in the mouth by the one and only Lamar Jackson, my boy. Hopefully you didn't listen to everybody out there that was saying trade him earlier in the season because
Yeah,
this is the only matchup I was worried about with Lamar Jackson coming
really.
into the season, man.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, after he did this, like, don't get me wrong, I believe there was one other game where he put up kind of like, it wasn't a stinker, but it wasn't nothing that you wanted on your starting lineup every single week if you had something better. But outside of that one like performance, man, he's been a stud. I mean, how can you not lump him in there with like MVP talks at this point?
Oh yeah, no way. There's no way around that. I mean, after you beat the undefeated Patriots, who haven't allowed anyone to score over 13 points, I believe, and you go out there and put up 37, he almost put up a 40 piece on Bill Belichick. A
Bill
40 piece.
Belichick is 17 before this game. He was 17-0 against quarterbacks that he faced for the first time. And Lamar Jackson just said,
Yeah,
all right.
well, I give a dang what you say, man. I'm coming in here. I'm a gamer, baby. And that's like with little to hardly any like play with Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown wasn't in this game. He only had 3 receptions for 48 yards. Like, just think about if Marquise Brown would have been in this game. Like, oh my gosh, the things they would have done.
Shout out to Hasm Thomas. I mean, I seen you have a post down there, man. You summed it up perfect, dude. I mean, every single time Baltimore would run that read option, it would just bring a linebacker off the run supports for New England, and they just eat, dude. Baltimore would just if the linebacker would come off, he'd give the ball to Mark, and Ingram would just run that ball and eat. And if the linebacker stayed, Lamar's taking it around the outside. It was just, man, they put on a clinic.
Yeah, man, they came to play. They showed like, hey, we took our feet off the pedal a little bit the previous weeks, but for you guys, we got something special. So here it is. And man, they unleashed it. I want to say this, man. I'm really disappointed that our baby Kamara still isn't getting any play in that backfield, man. He only had 3 carries for 7 yards.
Oh,
Yeah, baby
it's
Kamara.
so Gus Edwards just runs the ball so much like Mark Ingram, and don't get me wrong, coming into the season, there was like a good month there where I was just Gus bust. Gus Edwards, he ran the ball so great last year. They're not gonna just do away with him, and it'll be him and Mark Ingram. But then as I thought about it more, I was like thinking about how similar him and Mark Ingram really are, and they'd really benefit from working in a Justice Hill, kind of like in a Kamara type role, like New Orleans did, man. But I don't know. Harbaugh's just I don't know.
I mean, they're getting the job done.
Yeah, it's working for him. So whatever he's doing, I'm not gonna criticize, but I just wish I could see Justice Hill get the ball a little bit more. He's explosive, man.
He's a player, man. He's a playmaker. Tom Brady, 285 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. My boy James White showed up again in that New England backfield. 9 carries, 38 yards, and TD. Also 2 receptions for 46 yards. So he showed up in a big way. But other than that, everybody else pretty much does. Actually, no. Mohamed Sanu, 10 receptions, 81 yards, and a TD, man. First game with Brady. Brady targeted him 14 times. That's huge.
Well, he played last week. It was just a little, obviously it was a feeling out game for him.
Hey, apparently Tom Brady feels him because he had 14 targets in a TD.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, he had the same amount of receptions as Julian Edelman, man. The guy he trains every single offseason with Brady.
Time out, he had more targets than Julian Edelman.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So whoever has Sanu, congrats on that. You're about to eat with Sanu in that backfield. I mean, in that offense. Anything else?
I wish he would have had a little bit more production out of the targets, but it's good. The targets are there. The volume's there, so that's cool.
I think it'll come up. I think him and Brady are going to get that report down a little bit more. They head into a bye week this week. That's another team, guys, you got to be on the lookout for. You got Tom Brady. I think I'm going to look up all the buys for this week, but there's a few, man. I'll let you go into the next game. I'm going to look up the buys for this week while you do that.
No problem, boss. Actually, I mean, you want me to I got it right here. Bye weeks this week. We got Denver, Houston, Jacksonville, New England, Philadelphia, and Washington.
Ooh, that's a lot of buys, man.
6 teams.
And some of those have some like heavy hitters for fantasy. So, guys, be on the lookout. Please hit your waivers. Those waiver wire posts are going to be super valuable today.
Yeah, we'll be making them.
Yes, we will. As Cody was saying, one more time, bye weeks we have the Broncos. So I'll hit a few players on that team, and if I miss any, help me out there, Cody. So Broncos, we're missing Philip Lindsay. No Philip Lindsay this week. No Cortland Sutton either for them.
Yep. No, I mean some people even have been working in Royce Freeman.
Yeah,
no
Royce Freeman either. Patriots.
Font even, bro. Noah Font blew up last week.
He did. I don't see him being on too many people's rosters. If he was, hey, Patriots
Houston
got no Brady.
Yeah, Patriots. Yeah, no Brady, no Michelle, no Mohamed Sanu or Edelman.
They need receivers and quarterbacks.
James White. Houston, no Deshaun Watson, no Hopkins.
No Leonard Fournette. This is my team getting beat up while I'm looking at it. I'm like, man.
Philadelphia with Carson Wentz, Alshon Jeffrey, Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders, and then Washington.
Nobody's worried about Washington. Even McLaurin is slowed down. So, yeah, man, definitely get out in the waivers, guys. Pay attention to your teams. Fantasy is almost over. If you're having a bad season, just finish strong. Like, be that playoff upsetter that everybody thinks they have an easy week and you ruin the playoffs for somebody.
So, speaking of your bye week Broncos, they got the job done.
Yeah, man, they looked phenomenal. No Flacco, and we actually moved the ball. Strange.
You guys put 24 points on the board, throwing the ball 12 times. Oh, no, I'm sorry. You threw the ball 20 times.
Completed 12.
Yeah, you completed the ball. I'm going to say completed the ball 12 times.
Tebow isn't there anymore. We don't win games like that anymore. Sorry, Cody. Stop said Tebow. But, yeah, we got the job done. Philip Lindsay showed up again. 9 carries, 92 yards, and a TD. Noah Fant. I will say this, Cody, man. I was watching that game. Noah Fant had a really long run, really long reception.
Yep.
Cortland Sutton is a man. I'm sorry, man. I'm trying to trade for Cortland Sutton
if
I can get him. That catch he made was phenomenal. Crazy for the TD. I don't know if you saw it.
Yeah, he's a boss, man. I wasn't feeling him coming into the season, man. I thought he was gonna have a little bit of struggle with the offense because, Joe Flacco, man. I've just never had. I guess Steve Smith was okay-ish, but never really had a Flacco receiver that was like, oh, I got excited about.
Yeah, no. Matter of fact, the last one I could think of was who was that, man? Who am I thinking of? He hit on blown bombs, man. But anyway, neither here nor there. But yeah, we finally got the ball moving. I'm ready to see Drew Lock being able to play with Cortland Sutton, see how their rapport looks. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, we got to get Drew Lock in because this is a deep quarterback class, and John Elway's got to see what he has in Drew Lock.
Exactly.
Brendan Allen, man, he went out there and made a name for himself. This Browns defense, man, this Browns team in general just poo-poo. Like Nick Chubb.
I knew they'd have some chemistry issues to work out, but this is just... Yeah, man. That's just Browns football. Just to sum it up, it's just terrible.
I really think Freddie Kitchens is over his head, man. I really do.
Yeah, and I mean, you got guys. It's getting to the team, man. You got guys responding to people on Twitter getting fired.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, we didn't even bring that up, guys. Yeah, good take, Cody. One of the Browns cornerbacks decided it was a good idea to go on a racial and violent tangent.
Jermaine Whitehead,
good sir, decided to go crazy on Twitter and threaten fans and just he ended up getting cut. This Browns team is in complete chaos right now. Odell Beckham is calling out his quarterback saying he can't get the ball, even though he got the ball 5 times for 87 yards. Jarvis Landry got 13 targets. I dropped Jarvis Landry. I picked him up off of waivers, and then I dropped him again because I needed to. But, man.
Yeah, I know, man. These Cleveland Browns, dude. It is just bad.
Bad news bears over there. I agree, bro. Kareem Hunt, does he come back this week or is it next week? I want to say it's this week, isn't it?
Week 10. Yeah, we can join the team week 10.
He's
The
been practicing.
Freddie said he will have a role.
He had a big role. He said he had a big role.
How big will that role be? I mean, Chubb's there 20, touching the ball 20 times a game. Do you really take that? Like, what are you going to do with that? Are you going to take that down to 15?
Yeah, I mean, did Nick Chubb fumble again? No, he did fumble this game. He's been fumbling here lately. But looking at it, Nick Chubb is a great running back, but is he as explosive as Hunt? No. And so these 4 catches, this is what I'm looking at. These 4 catches that he had and these 2 catches that Hillard had, that's where I believe that it could go to Hunt. Excuse me.
That's what I would like. That's what I would like. I would like Chubb to be the ground back and Hunt to be the passing back.
Definitely feel like that's going to be the case. Anything else on this Browns team that you're looking at? Oh, wait, I had a question for you.
They could honestly use him just like how Georgia used Michelle and Chubb.
Ooh, that would be fun. That's a good take. Or we can see some Wildcat. More teams are starting to implement Wildcat again. Are you trading Odell Beckham in fantasy leagues if you have him, or are you trusting him going into the fantasy playoffs?
I don't know. If somebody will give you something for him, like, good for you.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I have the one league I have him in. I'm like so over him.
And trade deadlines
For serious.
So there's no hope.
He just feels like I got a bunch of wide receiver twos in that league I have him in.
Man, just carrying that weight around of OBJ. I just thought that connection was going to be better than what it is. I do feel like he has a couple more big games under his wings, but I don't know how many more he has. Their schedule is pretty brutal, if I remember, especially heading into the playoffs. Let's see. Looking at the schedule, just looking at it quickly, we have, let's see, that he's got through playing us. So he comes out, plays the Bills, the Steelers, he has the Dolphins.
They're playing hard now.
He said, yeah, and then you have the Dolphins, who've been playing some pretty good defense here recently. And then you got the Steelers again. I just don't like this. The Bengals, that'll be a sexy matchup for him to take advantage of. Will he take advantage of it? We don't know. Cardinals, Patrick Peterson is back in the fold. I don't know, Cody. I'm looking at trading him, honestly, man. Looking at this schedule.
Yep. Yeah. If you can get something for him that is worth it, I'm not gonna say no. I just don't think I'm gonna be able to get what I want trying to trade him out there. So I'm not even gonna bother.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, man, he's that player that you don't want to bench because he could explode, but you want to bench because he's just putting up dud after dud, and then he'll blow up, and it's just like, what do you do? So
Cries.
Yeah, it's just like, what do you do? So, what's our next game, man? I'm in it, man. We're in the thick of things. Do we have any more games?
What we got? We got our one overtime game of the week here.
All right, hit it up, man.
Seahawks, and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Big old point total, 40-34. Seahawks came out with the win.
What a game for fantasy, man. What a game.
Yeah, man. Big time. OT, I mean, Russell Wilson, 29-43, 378 yards and 5 passing touchdowns.
That's my first time ever having something like that happen. Having 2 players combined blow up together. Like, I've never had something like that happen, and boy, did it feel good. Man, did it feel good. Because, man, yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you go ahead.
Seems like all these main Seahawks were eating, man. Chris Carson, only 16 rushes. Don't get me wrong, 16 is a good number, but, like, it's not 20. It's not like he was bell cowing it out and still put up 105 yards. Yeah, he had 2 targets, so you get that worked in a little bit. But Tyler Lockett with 13 receptions.
18. He almost
Wide
had 20
receiver
targets.
1 status.
He almost had 20 targets, Cody.
He's a monster.
Didn't get Mike
He's
Evans
already
had 16.
he was already super efficient, and Russell Wilson's already super efficient. Now you add in the fact that they're giving this kid a bunch of volume. Ugh.
Oh, I'm just so excited, man.
DK
Yeah.
Metcalf, he
Oh,
exploded, man, for only 6 receptions, but he got 123 yards off in a touchdown.
man, did he have a game, boy? He showed out. I was watching a little bit of this game live as well, man. He just looked so good. And then you had Josh Gordon into the fold this week, man.
Yeah, but this kid,
Hollister?
they got Hollister off the Patriots. He's another one from the Patriots. His twin brother also plays over in New England. They came out the same year, and Belichick really, really, really liked this kid coming out when he got him, and I was really surprised to see them let him walk. And now that Seattle's got him and Will Disley's out, man, I mean, he got 4 targets for 37 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like, he's definitely somebody I think I'm going to be keeping my eye on.
I want to move before it's too late, man, because, I mean, here's my thing. Like, Russell Wilson has showed us on multiple occasions, and I don't understand why it didn't work out with Jimmy Graham, but Russell Wilson wants a tight end. Like,
Yeah.
he feeds whoever is the tight end. Like, Will Disley, when he came back, he was getting the ball. Like, Hollister, who would have thought Hollister would have showed out today? And he got fed the ball. 6 targets, 4 receptions, 37 yards, and 2 dimes. Like,
Yeah.
he wants a tight end, man. That's why I'm honestly shocked they haven't drafted a tight end for him yet. But I mean, who's to say it's not going to come soon? So,
Yeah, there's a couple good ones in this class.
other side, looking at the other side of the ball, anything you want to hit on? I mean, there's some huge fantasy numbers on that side of the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Big time. So I think we're done with this whole Godwin's better than Evans, right? Evans is the number one.
Yeah. I think what happened. Well, and hear me out. So the game of football is a big chess match. It's a big chessboard, and you move your chess pieces around to fit whatever you need to fit. Mike Evans, I don't know if he just didn't want to be the blocker in that offense. He didn't want to play the ace back, whatever they call it, in that offense. But he got it. He got the memo and was like, "Hey, I want to be a Pro Bowl receiver, so I'm gonna start blocking, and Chris Godwin can go back out there and be number 2." And so I don't know if they'll switch back again, and this is just to keep teams on their toes. But hey, yeah, I agree. Mike Evans, 16 targets.
Yeah, he's the man. I mean, Godwin still got his targets. Don't get me wrong. And honestly, this would have been. I know some people don't always get a chance to see all the games and stuff. Luckily, I'm always sitting here watching Red Zone. Chris Godwin would have had a even better stat line. James Winston threw the ball to him, and it was like 15 yards out. They were in the red zone. The ball got bobbled up, and Brashard Perriman came running in and grabbed the ball out of the air and brought it into the end zone. And that was Perriman's touchdown. It could have been Godwin's touchdown. So that was a little.
So with that being said, guys, you can run both of them. Don't feel bad about starting Godwin and Evans. I'm still on the fence about who is the better receiver. Evans has definitely got the size over Godwin.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're just 2 phenomenal receivers. So I'm not going to take away from either one of them. I do feel like they'll switch out. Like Godwin will have his big days, and Evans will say less. But Jameis Winston, man, Jameis is balling.
Yeah.
He's keeping
Seattle.
them
I
in
had a
games.
feeling. Yeah. Yeah, Bruce Arians is starting to click a little bit here. Looks like. And another one I got to hit on real quick. He's making it into my waivers again. A lot of people have dropped him.
Rojo?
Yes, man. Rojo, he's back. He's back. And Bruce Arians says he's earned the right to be the starter. He's been the more explosive back this season. Not that Peyton Barber's done anything wrong. He just says Ronald Jones has ran the ball better this year, and he's going to be the starting. He's getting the starting job.
In the case, so if you can get him, you know what? I'm mad at myself, man, because for some reason his name kept popping out of me last week on the waivers. Like,
I know.
hey, pick him up. I didn't listen, and guess what? I'm 11th in waivers this week. I'm not getting him. I'm not getting him. I already looked this morning. I was like, well, I'm wrapping that one up. But in my defense, he wouldn't have played. I was just getting him just so nobody else could get him and use him against him. If he decided to blow up all the way, we'll see. The offensive line is there, man. So I want him. Are you gonna get him? Are you gonna try for him?
Yeah, absolutely. He's well, I'll get to once I get to another game. He's my number 2 waiver wire pickup this week. If you're hurting at running back, he could be your number 1. But I got a number 1 that I'm really, really liking, and I mean, I think the position is a little bit more of a need at the moment because for my teams at least, the teams I have, I need that more. So anyway.
All right, so let's move on then. We hit this game. I'm excited. Let's go. What you got?
We'll do a dive into it. We'll go to this Indianapolis-Pittsburgh matchup.
Indianapolis and Pittsburgh matchup.
So, as some of you may know, T.Y. Hilton is out for weeks to come here. Paris Campbell took his hand.
I see what
Congratulations. If you gripped up Zach Pascal off the waiver wire last week, this man is going to eat. He's going to eat. He's going to be – you go ahead and slot him right into your wide receiver too because he's going to ball out for you. I have faith in Zach Pascal the way he's played. This dude can ball, and he's the number 1 target on this team now.
I mean, he was there last year too, man. He's just always there. This is his second season. He was a rookie last year. He's 6'2", 214 pounds. So not the biggest guy, but definitely not the smallest. He's a medium-sized receiver in the NFL. But yeah, man, he's been putting up numbers. He got a TD last week, like Cody was saying. He had 6 targets, 5 receptions, 76 yards in the TD. The week before that, he was quiet, but the week before that, when he played against Houston, 6 receptions, 106 yards, 2 TDs. So yes, I definitely agree with Cody on that he is definitely a receiver 2 option now.
Yeah, I like him a lot with no other options really in the system, man. Especially if Brissett's back. But I have heard rumors with the way Brian Hoyer played. If Jacob Brissett is not back for this Sunday, we could see another young gunslinger that can scramble and run the football. Do you know who I'm talking about?
I'm interested. Who are we talking about, sir?
The late, great Chad Kelly.
Chad Kelly. I'm a little jealous. You laugh, but I'm a little jealous about this.
Yeah, man. I mean, what happens if he explodes in the Colts?
Exactly. And he didn't look bad when he was with us. For those who don't know, Chad Kelly is the grandson of the legend Jim Kelly from the Buffalo Bills. And so Chad Kelly was drafted as Mr. Irrelevant. And Mr. Irrelevant in the NFL is the very last pick in the NFL draft. They call him Mr. Irrelevant. They go to Disney World, blah, blah, blah. Well, that was Chad Kelly. Well, Chad Kelly was looking pretty good in the preseason for Denver last year. Yeah. But he decided to pull a Johnny Manziel, act crazy, got some trouble, end up with Indianapolis, looked really good in the preseason again this year. And like Cody was saying, he has a chance to be a starter. I'm not sure, though, because why would they do that if Brian Hoyer came in and looked really good this past week?
I didn't think he looked that great, to be honest with you.
Okay, well, see, I didn't watch the game. I'm just looking at the box score. I'll be the first to admit that. So,
yeah, I mean, he got picked off coming into the game, man. If it wasn't the first drive, it was that second drive he had. Threw a bad decision pick, and I think it was the very next drive. They get the ball. Hoyer doesn't look at his blind side. Gets the ball strip sacked, fumble.
I mean, neither one of them looked really good. Mason Rudolph, his QBR was a 26.3, so it was lower than Hoyer's. So, I mean, what do you do? Do you trust Pascal with Hoyer as a quarterback? Or if Kelly comes in, do you still trust Pascal as a quarterback, or do we look at the tight ends now?
Well, especially for this week, my friend, the Indianapolis Colts draw the Miami Dolphins.
Okay.
I think I'm still gonna trust them, to be honest with
You
you.
still trusting Pascal?
Yeah, the number one option there. I like him, especially for DFS, man. Ooh, all those DFS players out there. He's gonna be a bargain.
Yeah, I mean, definitely nobody's looking at him. I don't know, man. That QB situation. If Brissett is the quarterback, I feel better about it. But with Kelly coming in, and we don't know what we're getting out of him. We don't know what kind of Dolphins team we're gonna get either. If they come out and play like they did the last 2 weeks, man, they could come out here and slap the Colts in the mouth. So it's a lot of question marks in that game.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I still really want to pick him up because I believe Hilton's out, what, 4 to 6 weeks?
Yeah, which if they're losing, man, he might be done for the season.
Yeah. But I mean, they only have 3 losses. Like, this team should be in the playoffs.
Let's see. Did we miss any games? I'm looking over all the games now. I know we've been rolling for. Oh man, we've been over an hour. So do we have any other games that we missed? Let's see.
The Jets and the Dolphins, the Bears, the Eagles, Panthers, Titans,
All right, Panthers,
Bills,
Titans.
Redskins.
I did want to hit this Panthers Titans game.
Yeah.
We all know what McCaffrey did. We all know how McCaffrey played. No need to go there. 24 carries, 146 yards, 2 TDs,
Stud.
3 receptions, 20 yards, and a TD through the air. So we got McCaffrey out the way. We know what he did. Now, take it from there. What is some stuff you saw?
This is such a frustrating wide receiver core for me, man. I almost wish I wouldn't have invested in any of it at all. I did get Curtis Samuel in the ones that I did invest in, just because he was the cheaper option, and I feel like that was the smart decision. Because I feel like even though DJ Moore is getting the better target share, and he even got more yards in this game, it just seems like Curtis Samuel is outscoring him in fantasy points each week. Like it's such a weird situation going on. I mean, DJ Moore had 7 receptions for 101 yards, no touchdowns, whereas Samuel got the 64 yards off 3 receptions and a touchdown. Seems like Samuel finds the end zone more and just has the better games, even though he has the lower target share.
Yeah. But, so do you feel comfortable with starting both of them on a weekly basis? Because DJ Moore still had the 7 receptions, 101 yards off of 10 targets.
Yeah, it's not terrible production. It's just like I have Curtis Samuel, and I've always felt like, oh, I'm gonna need him here soon. I'm gonna want to put him in, but every single week it comes around and I don't do it.
You just don't trust him, man. He's that guy that you just like, man, he needs a big play to do something, but he always gets the big play. But can you trust that every week?
I know, but he's consistent, and it's weird that I don't trust it. It's just a weird situation going on there. Like I said, I think we had a discussion on the page earlier this week. I think they would really, really benefit from a true wide receiver one, man. Like an Antonio Brown would just be insane on this team.
Yeah, because that would move DJ Moore out to receiver 2. That would move Curtis Samuel into the slot. Oh man, that would be nice.
You know,
Jarrett's
the
right.
holes. They wouldn't have to face the stacked boxes on McCaffrey like that. DJ Moore and Antonio Brown going up top.
Hey, fantasy owners right now, some of them are happy and the other ones are like, hey, you need to be quiet before the Panthers get an idea. Because that's going to take away from McCaffrey's receptions, man. He only had 3 receptions this weekend.
Yeah,
3 targets. He had a great game, but that's not what, not every week he's going to be playing against like he did on the ground. So hopefully they don't bring in another receiver. I don't see them doing it, but if they do, I don't know.
No, not this year. At least I don't see them doing it. But they would really, really benefit from it, man.
Looking at the Titan side of the ball, more inconsistency, man. AJ Brown, 4 catches, 81 yards, no TD. Corey Davis, 4 catches, 48 yards. Second,
2 interceptions out of Mr. Tannehill.
yeah, same output. Gianno Smith went back into his mediocrity. 3 catches, 18 yards. Nothing to see here on the Tennessee
Derrick
side.
Henry.
Derrick Henry,
Derrick
yeah,
Henry with 2 touchdowns. He caught one and ran one in.
that's big. But other than that, man, quiet.
Tannehill ran a touchdown in with 38 rushing yards, man. Mariota's done. This is it.
Oh yeah. He unless Tannehill gets hurt, yeah, I agree. You won't see him in the Titans on the Titans field again.
Good question is, do you think they try Tannehill next year? Or do you think they draft a quarterback in this deep class?
I'm 100% like sure they go quarterback. Like
Yeah.
Tannehill has looked good. Don't get me wrong, he's looked decent. But this was the true like can you be an NFL quarterback moment. He knew he was on thin ice. He was gonna have to show up the entire season, and he showed up in this game and didn't produce, man. So I feel like they'll definitely go quarterback. Tannehill was a project. It was a shot in the dark, but no way the Titans don't go quarterback with Mariota leaving.
So, speaking of young quarterbacks, we had another one make a start this week, man, and he lost horribly.
Oh man, I already know you talking about Haskins.
Yes.
Haskins, yes. Oh, that game was right there. I could just clicked on it. Yeah, I mean, but that's in his defense, Cody. Who was he throwing the ball to besides McLaurin? I mean, and that's for every Redskins quarterback that's been back there. Keenum. I'm not just defending Haskins. Like these guys have nobody to throw the ball to at all.
Yeah, there's another team that could benefit from a good wide receiver addition. Don't get me wrong, Terry McLaurin has looked great. Trey Quinn's showing a lot of promise, and they even got that kid Calvin Harmon. But they're all 3 rookies. Paul Richardson is not like a. I mean, this guy's not even. I don't even think he could be like a real wide receiver too. I don't even think he could. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of rosters he wouldn't even make, man. To be honest.
Yeah, he's a special teamer.
Wendell Smallwood, 2 grabs. Like Smallwood had the 3rd most receptions on this team, and that's just saying a lot. And he started at running back. He didn't. Okay, AP got the 18 rushes for 108 yards.
Yeah, and we've been saying that. I think we'll still see AP do that.
Callahan really likes AP, man. I think we could see this from about the rest of the season, barring injury.
Yeah, and they want to see him break that record as well. He's still trying to break the rushing record. I can't remember which one it is off the top of my head.
It's the touchdowns, man. He's 4 touchdowns away for being 3rd all time on touchdowns list, and this is like the 3rd or 4th game this season. He's got 100 yards and he didn't get a touchdown.
And the Bills are tough. The Bills are a pretty tough defense. So who do they play next week? Oh, the Redskins are on bye. So he'll get rested up and he'll come fresh.
Watch, he's gonna get 2 and be 1 shy of tying the record.
Have to come back next season. Don't jinx him, man. Don't jinx my boy AP, man. Shout out to AP. I hope you break the record and retire this year, brother. If that's
Frank
what you want
it out.
Because I don't know if teams are going to give him another chance next year. Wouldn't it be sweet if Minnesota did and let him break the record there?
That would be pretty crazy. Just have him back up, Delvin.
So, yeah, nothing to see here for the Redskins at all.
We got a breakout alert.
All right. Breakout alert. What are we talking about, sir? Drum roll.
Devin Singletary.
20
rushes, 95 yards, man, and a touchdown. 3 receptions, 45 yards.
Cody. This was the game. He showed up. Yes. He showed up. He was running the ball hard. Frank Gore is finally disappearing.
Droppable.
Yes. Get rid of Frank Gore, man. All respect to Frank Gore. He's a fantastic running back, but he's done. Time for the Singletary to begin, man. So what? Are you trying to trade for him before the playoffs?
Speaking of, wait a minute. Didn't Frank Gore break a record like last week or the week before?
He did.
And Oh, so what? They just wanted to get him the record too, and now it's Singletary's job?
No, I don't know. I can't fully say that, and I'm not going to make it seem like I'm not going to start the conspiracy theory. Not pulling up my
Yeah, I
tinfoil
mean, I
hat,
don't.
but I will say Frank Gore did. He still received 11 carries, man. That's respectable, But
Yeah,
Singletary got
not
20.
20.
That's so
Yeah,
bad.
once you
11
start to
carries,
double
15
that, I mean,
yards. That's so bad.
and Singletary can catch the ball.
I'm loving it, man. For those who waited on him, man, if you can, still try to go trade for him. It's gonna be hard to trade for him because people are like, "Hey, nah, I see what he is now." But him and Montgomery, man, hey, they're starting to show up.
Yeah,
Bears Eagles, huh?
yeah. The playoff rewind.
That was such a disappointment, man. Such a disappointment. The Bears have to get them a quarterback, man. We laughed when they traded up for Trubisky, and now we're laughing because this team is in need. They're in dire need of a quarterback right now, man. That's all they need. They're like the Denver Broncos when we were just lacking a quarterback, and we got Peyton, and then everything started going. Thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I couldn't agree more. Like I've had this discussion so many times I can't count. Um, like, oh, how did you trade the picks you did? Don't get me wrong. It's not like well, they did go. Somebody did go draft Alvin Kamara with those picks, but
Yeah, Alvin Kamara did fall into one of them picks.
you gave up these picks, man, for a guy you could have more than likely drafted anyway. And I mean, Deshaun Watson was there, Patrick Mahomes. Don't get me wrong, nobody knew what Mahomes was, but for
Well, somebody did. Kansas City
I'm
did.
sorry, shout out Alex Hager, but when was the last time you heard a North Carolina quarterback doing anything?
Um,
I'm sorry.
yeah, never.
I could have said the same about Daniel Jones probably, but still, like Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech slinging the ball 55 times a game. Like uh, I didn't think it took like a professional scout here, but
Man,
um,
well, people
yeah,
overthink it, and NFL is
they
known
could,
for overthinking it, man.
oh yeah, big time. Yeah, true. And they could have traded for Jimmy G.
RP is here to
I mean, there's so much. This team. I'm so glad I'm not a Chicago Bears fan.
Yes, my
On the
uncle
right
is.
side, David Montgomery. He's
Yes.
to his own.
I'm
Yeah,
coming out. I want the world to. Yes. Say it again,
mm,
brother. He's coming.
David.
Finally. But
So David Montgomery, yeah. I've the last 2 weeks I've really, really enjoyed watching him play, man. And then this week he's got a matchup with Detroit, who's given up the most fantasy points to running backs in the league. And I mean, he's got Detroit twice actually for the rest of the year. He's got Detroit this week, and then he's got him again week 13.
so go out and get David Montgomery. It might be a little bit too late, but if you can get
And
him,
he's got the Giants. He's got Green Bay, who gets eaten on. Kansas City.
he has a phenomenal schedule for running back.
Mm.
Phenomenal going into the playoffs. The championship stretch, championship game is going to be a little rough. He has Vikings as long as you get there, but yes, going into that playoff, like I said, guys, we're starting to get. As you can't tell, we're
Oh,
starting
no
to heat
more
up.
Vikings.
Was that?
I think they're done with Minnesota, I believe.
No, they have Vikings one more time on the 29th, New Year's Eve. Or actually, no, not even New Year's Eve, the day before.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No, 2 days before New Year's Eve. Crazy. But yes, looking at their stuff, we got Lions. Like Cody was saying, they have the Lions twice. The Lions get beaten up on. The Rams. The Rams are tough, but then you got the Giants. Ooh, the Giants is a nice matchup for them. The Cowboys another tough matchup, but then the Packers on the 15th. That's fantasy
They get
playoffs.
rain on.
Yeah,
And then your fantasy championship, man. Kansas City giving up third most points to running backs.
yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, so you don't even have to worry about that Vikings. You're right. They're done with the Vikings. Hey,
Mm.
whoo! You might want to get your shares of David Montgomery, man. He's starting to get the ball. Him and Josh Jacobs going to duel it out for the second half to see who's going to be the rookie player of the season.
Yes, sir, they are. Yeah, I don't see anybody else really coming in close.
So, anything else?
Not on that side of the ball. For me, Jordan Howard got a little bit of revenge here. 82 yards off 19 carries and a touchdown. Zach Ertz burst on the scene. Ertz with the burst.
Hurts with the burst. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Finally.
I think fantasy owners were really waiting on this game, man.
Boy. What we all? I hate it, man. I missed out on Ertz. A lot of people offered me Ertz last week. And to be honest with you, I'm still not sold on Zach Ertz, guys. He had this great
I'm
game.
glad I didn't draft him.
What a headache, man. Every
Um,
time.
Besides that, nobody really ate in the passing game. Carson Wentz being Carson Wentz and just kind of, pretty average. He didn't give you. He didn't go out and put up a 50 burger, but he did his thing.
So check this, Cody. I'm sorry. I got to go back to Ertz really fast. I wanted to wait till you stop. But check this out. Zach Ertz only has one touchdown this season. One touchdown. And we're talking about a tight end that people were drafting, rounds 3, 4?
I know. Ouch. Ouch. I mean, the top of round 3, not just like.
Oh, I take it back. He has 2. He has 2 touchdowns.
Still, man.
So bad.
Not good. Not good.
What? 46 receptions. So, sorry. I know I got off. I just saw that. I'm like, man, that's not good at all. Anything else on that game that you want to hit on?
No, that wraps me up.
All right. Did we miss any games? Anything we missed?
Did we get Jets Miami?
Yes, we did hit Jets Miami. We hit.
Yeah, we did.
Yep. Parker being another option now.
Yeah, that's about it, man. We got him. That was not too bad. Good job.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I know Cody has to get ready for work. I have to get ready for my classes. You guys have been phenomenal. I'll let Cody do anything he wanted to wrap it up on. Shout out.
Yes. Thank you all for the support as always. We are loving being here, loving doing our thing. Always available. And if you want to ask any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I'm here, and you can find me at Cody from Tav on Twitter. All right, guys.
Round of applause. Yes. One more time, guys. We are still doing the No Shave November. Please, you guys can start submitting your pictures. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start uploading some of our pictures. Some of the fellas are already growing out their beards and their mustaches. So, hey, continue to share the links, guys. Continue to share, donate. We're gonna make a phenomenal basket for some deployed members over there. It means a lot. Trust me, I've been deployed through some crazy times as well. So it means a lot to us when stuff like this happens. So I want to make sure to make somebody's holidays. With that being said, salute to all our troops, our vets, our reserve members, and salute to the Tab Nation. We love you guys.
Yes. All right.
Peace out. We're out.